You see the uniform, the convoy, the absolute authority. The Indian Police Service commands respect the moment you walk into a room. At the top of this funnel, 8 million applicants enter the UPSC ecosystem every year. At the bottom, only 150 secure an IPS spot. Getting through the extreme academic filter is only half the battle. You must also pass a strict biological filter. This standard was established early on. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel envisioned a force capable of holding the country together, demanding both sharp intellect and immense physical resilience. Wanting the prestige is irrelevant. If you do not understand the multi-year gauntlet required to earn it, you will not survive the preparation. Pop culture sells a very specific fantasy of policing: flashing lights, immediate obedience, and cinematic action in the field. The actual journey starts with 2 to 3 years of total social isolation. You will miss holidays and weekends, replacing them with chronic stress and endless revisions of standard textbooks. It takes a specific type of resilience to endure that isolation. Trailblazers like Kiran Bedi possessed the psychological grit required to push through the exhaustion and redefine the service from within. For those who do endure, the career path extends far beyond local law enforcement. Officers can eventually transition into intelligence, reaching the highest strategic levels of national security. The power of the IPS is bought and paid for in advance. The currency is your youth, your irreplaceable time, and total psychological commitment. Before you buy a single textbook, you must verify your biology. Unlike the Indian Administrative Service, the IPS enforces hard medical minimums. You cannot study your way out of a physical disqualification. This diagram shows absolute minimum height constraints: 165 centimeters for males, 150 for females. Miss this, you are disqualified. Next is respiratory capacity, requiring a mandatory 5-centimeter expansion upon inhalation. Finally, vision. Corrective lenses are accepted, but LASIK surgery triggers automatic referral to a medical board. There are also hidden systemic checks. A high HbA1c level, indicating poor blood sugar control or diabetes, can render you temporarily unfit and freeze your entire career trajectory. If your biology fails these metrics, an all-India rank of 1 means nothing. You need to know this today, so you can immediately pivot your goal to the IAS or IRS without wasting years of effort. If physically cleared, the next barrier is financial. On the left, Delhi coaching hubs cost upwards of 2 lakh rupees, buying a pre-packaged structure and an accountable peer community. On the right, the solo route costs 0 rupees, but without structure, the demand for self-discipline is extreme and burnout risk skyrockets. If you cannot quit your job, you have to build your own system. This relies on carving out golden morning blocks from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m., studying before the rest of the world wakes up. You get to keep your salary, but you will sacrifice every single evening and weekend for 12 to 18 months to stay competitive. Preparation always exacts a price. You either pay with your bank account for coaching, or you pay with your sanity and total control over your schedule through self-study. Clearing the UPSC Civil Services exam is only the first step. After selection, the paths for IAS and IPS officers split sharply. Everyone begins at a joint foundation course, rooted in Lal Bahadur Shastri's vision, focusing on civil policy and operations. But then, IPS probationers transfer to the National Police Academy in Hyderabad. This is where they undergo 46 weeks of grueling basic training. The shift is jarring. You go from sitting at a desk to handling heavy weapons, running tactical commando drills, and enduring intense physical conditioning. It is a complete psychological teardown. They strip away the isolated academic student and forge a field-ready commander capable of making life-or-death decisions under extreme stress. Choosing the IPS means voluntarily giving up the broad, comfortable policymaking environment of an IAS officer. You trade it for a career tied to a high-risk, hyper-regimented operational reality. Let's map your exact strategy. First, do you meet the rigid medical baselines? If no, stop and pivot to the IAS or IRS. If yes, can you afford full-time preparation? If working, execute the 4 a.m. block. If funded, choose coaching or solo study. Mapping your exact constraints prevents the tragic mistake of pursuing a preparation strategy your body or your bank account cannot actually sustain. The khaki uniform is a symbol of immense responsibility. It represents a lifelong commitment to high-stress, dangerous, and often thankless law enforcement work. The upfront cost to wear it is staggering. You pay with academic isolation, rigorous self-discipline, and strict physical maintenance. Make your choice today. Respect the brutal input required to succeed, and execute your strategy without illusions.